take me by the hand? Won't you let me know what's up in your head? And I know, oh, it might not be the right time for you and me. And that's okay, as long as you're happy. Yeah, that's okay, as long as you're happy. Won't you let me know what's real? Won't you tell me just for once how you feel? And I know, oh, it might not be the right time for you and me. And that's okay, as long as you're happy. Yeah, that's okay, as long as you're happy. Won't you take me by the hand? Won't you let me know what's up in your head? And I know, oh, it might not be the right time for you and me. And that's okay, as long as you're happy. Yeah, that's okay, if you wanna be without me.
It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddy S. and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddy S., are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddy S.
Welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe on a short-lived, no Comcast tape recording.
Previously recorded, but not really. We're on time, just Comcast is not. Anyway, happy Tuesday, everyone. Talk to me, I would say talk to me Tuesday, but you're going to complain. So the complaint department is closed today.
I'm not complaining. I'm playing along.
That's all we can do.
You told me we have internet today. We don't have internet.
We did, and then we lost it.
Braxton and Chaos broke my bowl.
No, it was broken before.
No, he crunched it.
Ooh.
But the guacamole segment was
Hence the name, Cooking Up Chaos with Baxton and Bailey.
Like
it was good, though.
They're like a storm. I mean, I sat over here because I'm afraid to sit over there because they're like a hurricane.
They are. Those two together is definitely a chaotic storm. So tune in on Saturday on our kids' television network and see Cooking Up Chaos episode 5 with Bailey and Baxton. They're making homemade guacamole. And I must say,
it was delicious.
As Baxton says, mwah, delicious.
I hate it when something comes out of that chaos and it actually tastes good.
Every single week it tastes good. It's just a little chaotic.
Stuff, remember that show where the guy threw stuff around when he was cooking? It was like a chaotic mess. And then at the end, they had like superb.
That's what Baxton says. It's
so
superb.
He says, do you want to try this? And I says, why would I want to try this? You crack a bowl, you drop a this and doing that. Why would I want to try it? Then I tried it. I'm going to tell you, it's pretty freaking good.
It looked like it was pretty easy, only like a couple ingredients.
It was delicious. And they had those strange avocados.
How was it?
It was delicious. I hope I don't get sick. You got a doctor in the house?
Positivity. We have a doctor in the house.
We've
got Dr. Segal joining us. But tune in on Saturday, Cooking Up Chaos with Baxton and Bailey with some homemade guacamole. Our morning show is going to be playing after our afternoon show because it's a little chaotic. We're going to call it a chaotic Tuesday.
Who brought the chips?
They did. Baxton did.
That's Baxton's. Those chips are outstanding.
Have you never had them before?
Never.
They make a key lime one also.
You've had that?
Oh, yeah.
They have a lot of stuff on
A
them.
little bit of salt and a little bit of flavor.
I feel like I was at the beach. You ever go to the beach and you say, man, it looks like I swallowed the ocean?
You may need some water for that. And we had Fuego back in-house today, so that was pretty cool.
They were having a ball. And guess who Fuego interviews? Of all people,
Yeah.
Comcast. And he looks at me, and I gave him the business, and he looked, let me make a call.
He said, it's coming back, and then I went down, it's coming back. I said, thank you, would you like to join us? And they said, no, we need to talk to Freddy. Very serious. Can I help you? No.
There's a
We
reason.
need to talk to Freddy about the internet. I'm like,
They're
"Oh,
going to come see us Thursday with some options.
about the internet?
We need a backup, Dawn. I can't do this.
Oh, do they have backup options?
Oh, yeah, there's a lot of options.
As long as you pay for it.
As long as you pay.
Welcome to South Florida. Welcome to the American way.
Doc knows all about that because they told him the same thing. You know, when it goes down and you're a dent in the water, this doesn't work. So we have to come
It
up.
doesn't work when you're a production house and you're relying on it. Actually, it doesn't really work for anything because you can't get to your emails. I can't even get to the printer.
Well, you could use your phone. No, you can't use the
I
printer.
can't get to the printer, so it's this craziest thing how bound we are to the internet. You talk about a niche market.
Do you know if there was no electricity and everybody was without electricity, there'd be chaos.
There would be mass chaos.
I mean, nobody knows how to light a match to put a torch together.
But again, we got a long day here, but our internet seems to be in and out. We're going to get this show out to you, but I'm excited because every month we send out our Brooklyn Cafe Gazette. We call it our newsletter. Every night it goes out, and last month I put in a coupon for a free interview for anyone that wanted to take part of it. It went out to 3,000 names, and only one came forward. So I'm really excited because it was the next day.
That's 100%.
It's 100% less than zero. And I'm really excited because getting through summer was not easy for a lot of us. And now that we're through summer, we're still feeling the ramifications of a tough summer here in South
It was
Florida,
very
right?
tough, yeah.
You know, got through in September. It's like, oh, we're September, but you're seeing what it was like to deplete different savings and everything that people went through in the summer just to keep going. But we've got Dr. John Segal joining us of My Body Works Wellness. And we met Dr. Segal, I think, when you first opened in Delray 4 years ago.
4 years
You
ago.
were just opening up, and it's been a minute, as they say, but he's still on our mailing list and got our newsletter, and his marketing department reached out, and we said, come on down.
Was Doc in the studio with us?
Yes,
Was he in the back or in the front?
back.
Oh, so we already had been there a couple of months. Okay.
So welcome, Dr. Segal. Now, My Body Works started. You certainly have expanded.
Yes, thank you for having me. We really appreciate this opportunity to get out to the community especially. But we've been very blessed. We've expanded into the medical aspect now, into the regenerative medicine field. And we now help patients of all type through chiropractic, spinal reconstruction, spinal posture fixing. We also do regenerative medicine for Wharton's jelly, which helps joint repair. We do a lot of nutrition, detoxing. We do a lot of IV nutrition as well. So it's been a blessing to really help patients get healthy, but those also stay healthy for life. It's kind of our new motto and new purpose.
Now, one of the things that is affecting all of us, including us in the media business, entertainment business, is getting people to feel comfortable enough to come back skin to skin, to come back and see you. Have you faced that dilemma in what's happening after COVID?
We really have not. We've been very blessed. We've been open every day, helping patients all throughout. And when things were tough, we were helping the fire department, police department, and all the doctors stay healthy. So we've been very blessed to stay open. But what we do can't be done from a house. We can't fix someone's spine from the house, so they do have to come in to get treatment. And we've got a lot of options to help people in different ways.
It's funny that he's here today because this morning, Kimberly?
Karen?
Yeah. Karen. Her too. Karen texted me that she has a bad back. And she was asking, do we know anybody that can help her?
Oh, there you go.
She almost came today, but she was in so much pain she couldn't get out of bed. She said, no, I'm going to stay home today. She's going to try to come next week. And I'm going to send her straight to Doc because that's what you do. You help people with back pains.
Well, absolutely. Most people don't realize what chiropractic is. Chiropractic is not just about the manipulation of the bone. It's about bringing postural curves back to the spine, which is your overall health. So pain is one aspect of what we do, but it's bringing back the function of the body and the nervous system, basically from top down, inside out. So pain, yes, we can help with, and we specialize in that, but it's also restoring the body back to its optimal health.
Inflammation, how do we deal with inflammation throughout the body?
Inflammation comes from two areas. Inflammation comes from internal as well as external. So we can look at the blood and see if there's factors in there causing inflammation, but we can also use things like electric stimulation, heat, ice, and also chiropractic care to decrease inflammation. But it comes from inside the body as well as externally as well.
How does chiropractic care, because traditionally what I know of it, it's manipulation, it's physical manipulation of, I guess, your spine and extremities. How would that, to me, that would increase inflammation, right? If you're manipulating it, how would it decrease it?
Well, the problem is people don't realize you have two vertebrae. Between a vertebra is a disc, and then there's a nerve that comes out. If a bone hits a nerve, and we use a term called subluxation. You've heard of a dislocation, correct?
Right.
A dislocation is a little bit more in depth than a subluxation, but if a bone hits a nerve, it causes an inflammatory response, also a nervous system response. So chiropractors take the bone back off the nervous system, which then lets the body's ability to heal itself faster. So we're actually taking the blockage off. Almost like, you ever step on a hose and the water stops?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. If a bone hits a nerve, the nerve can't function properly or the electricity stops. So chiropractors are amazing at taking the inflammation out by decreasing the nervous system interference.
So the nerve is touching the bone, is that what's happening?
Vertebra
If you're
can
in pain.
absolutely hit the nervous system, yeah. Also the spinal cord as well. It can hit both.
Wow, you know how many nerves we have throughout? How do you detect that? I mean, there's so many.
We have a policy in our office, we take x-rays on everybody because of the fact that an x-ray can show me exactly where the bone is if it's affecting the nervous system, if it's affecting the spinal cord. So we take x-rays on everybody. Young kids we typically don't, pregnant women we don't, but we definitely want the x-ray first to make sure that we won't hurt anybody and to also see where the subluxations are. If we need to, we'll do an MRI or even send out for CAT scans as well.
The ice will shrink the inflammation, thereby the bone is not touching the nerve until that goes away, and then it goes right back to where it is?
Well, here's the issue with chiropractic and a lot of things we do. Physical therapy, acupuncture, pain medication. See, we put a bone back in the proper position. However, that bone can go right back to where it was because of muscle memory like you were talking about.
Right.
However, we are different. I was really blessed. I've trained all over the world. In fact, I've taught in 40 countries around the world to doctors, orthopedists, medical doctors, and chiropractors a technique that puts the bone back in the proper position, but we strengthen the intrinsic ligaments around it so it doesn't go back. So we're basically a specialist office. You've heard of scoliosis.
Yeah.
We can typically get scoliosis better and correct them fully under 20 degrees. If they're worse than that, we can get them better. And everybody now has a major issue. It's called a cell phone. Everybody has their head down all day, which basically means we're losing the curve we're supposed to have in our neck. In our specialty that we do in the practice, we can restore those curves, which take the pressure off the spinal cord and the nerves, which basically decreases the inflammation but restores the body to optimal health. So we are a specialist in nature, so we actually fix the problem once and for all, as opposed to providing a Band-Aid.
Yeah, the cell phones, forget about it. Because I know my traps are always tight, and I realize I'm always like this. And we're all always like this. Forget texting thumbs.
It's funny.
It's your neck.
She
She's
started
going like
like
this. Yeah.
She started going like this when you said that. Wait a minute,
Right,
my
you
neck.
see people all the time going like this.
It hurts me seeing people look down. It's funny. I'll walk through Atlantic Avenue, and we have we're so blessed. We have so many patients all over. And I walk down Atlantic Avenue because I teach everybody to hold their phone in front of their face, not look down at it. So I'm walking by and I see all the restaurants, and all I see out of the corner of my eyes, people holding their cell phones back up again when they see me walking down.
That's hilarious.
Because if you look down, you destroy the curve in your body, and your body compresses. So you really need to always have your chin balanced with the floor or your cell phone as well at eye level.
I think I'm going to create the
Get out of
leveler.
my head. Do you
The
remember
leveler.
Steve Martin and the jerking at the glasses?
The whole
or whatever he was holding, everyone's
Holding
eyes.
it in the nose.
But
And
now you got
everybody got
everyone's neck
cockeyed.
up.
No, I think.
I bet they
How
must
many
make a
car
brace to do
accidents
that.
will this happen? You're driving, walking around like that, with the thing from your shoulders holding the phone.
Amazon sells one for $14.95, if you can believe it. Some
great.
that holds a cell phone. We found
Seriously?
it. Absolutely,
Pretty.
yes.
What, do you wear it on your shoulders like a brace?
No, it comes around your head, and it actually holds the cell phone directly in front of you. It's kind of funny looking. I don't know if I would, if I would do it, but they do sell one, yes.
Interesting.
Doc, that could be your calling card. Do you want to look like this?
Crazy. But you know what's so interesting about chiropractic medicine? It's different than regular allopathic medicine, rather than a medical doctor, those that have an MD. Because you're looking at, it's more in line with the osteopathic, I think, right? Because you're more of the wholeness and the wellness of the patient. And you're looking at the holistic patient as opposed to allopathic, where if you've got pain, let me inject your knee. Let me do it this way. If you've got a stomach ache, let's look at your stomach. Whereas your practice has grown so much because you're looking at the entire body. You're realizing that the inflammation comes from somewhere.
Absolutely, and we do look at the whole body. So we do blood work on most of our patients. We're very blessed to be able to do that right out of the office with our medical division. So we look at internal things, but we also look at external through X-ray, MRI, and CAT scans as well. But we look at the body as a whole. Because the brain sends a signal down the spine out through nerves. So we look at the body from inside out, as opposed to allopathic is outside in. But we look at both aspects of the body, and chiropractors are trained in nutrition extensively, as well as the structure of the body. And I've been blessed, my first degree is in pre-med nutrition, so I've taught nutrition literally around the world as well, because nutrition is a big part. And I tell everybody, if you have 100% of your health right within this little space here, 90% of it comes from your spine, because your spine and your nervous system control everything within the body. The other 10% is nutrition and exercise, and of that 10%, 90% is what you put in the body nutritionally. The other 10% is exercise. Now, you need all three. However, if a bone hits a nerve and a nerve goes to your digestive tract, it doesn't matter what you put in your body, medicines, nutrition, good food, the body can't function properly. So chiropractic is blessed to look at the body as a whole.
And what do you look at for food and nutrition? What's your starting point with a patient?
We'll do a detailed analysis and consult first, because there's a lot of issues going on right now, right? We have metals and pesticides and toxins in the food. We just eat poorly as a society now. So we do a detailed analysis first to see what they're eating, how they're eating. Is it organic? Is it non-organic? And then basically on past history as well, and medical history. So we do a full analysis. We'll typically do blood work on all of our patients as well to see what's going on internally as well, because a lot of things can be healed through the food you eat. They always say, let food be thy medicine. It's absolutely true. The problem is our food streams are destroyed, as people know, and they're very toxic. So we actually educate people tremendously on buying the proper foods, where to shop, how to shop, as well as what to eat.
That's true, because you brought up the
Remember
Tylenol
that?
thing.
I saw this crazy class action lawsuit that they're trying. It was on social media. A pregnant woman that took Tylenol or had a baby and was diagnosed with autism, if you took Tylenol, there apparently is some attorneys out there that are trying to bring forth this class action lawsuit. Think any woman that you know that's had a child that did not take Tylenol for 9 months.
My wife didn't. We have 3 kids. My wife didn't take one medication the whole
Wow.
entire time.
That's amazing.
She got adjusted every single week, and we take care of pregnant women all the time. We take care of babies, literally few days old. My 3 kids have been adjusted since the first minutes of life. Absolutely incredible. In fact, my wife had a C-section, and I adjusted my son right from the C-section, and all the doctors and the nurses were watching. It was an absolute blessing.
What does that do? So if you adjusted your wife, was she in pain, or it was an overall body wellness adjustment? Are there two different things?
Well, my wife was in pain, and most women are in pain from pregnancy because of all the excess weight, right? It's an extra 30 or 40 pounds on the body, and if a bone hits a nerve, it can cause pain. So most pregnant women feel some sort of discomfort or pain, so that's why she was adjusted, but also because of the immune system. Again, the brain sends a signal down the spinal cord out through nerves to every organ, bone cell, tissue, muscle, and gland in the body. So if she's sitting in awkward positions, her immune system is becoming compromised as well. So we wanted to keep the immune system strong.
I did not realize chiropractic helps with the immune system.
Absolutely, yes.
And you've expanded now from chiropractic to regenerative medicine that is inclusive of nutrition, supplements, What else?
Yes, we do a lot. Well, typically we start out with blood work. We take the blood right in the office and we send it out to a laboratory. And we look for a lot of different factors. In fact, we do a complete well check. So we look at the normal red blood cells, white blood cell count, the overall hematology. We look at A1Cs for diabetes, fats, all the norms. But we also look for hormonal counts because hormones are a huge problem now, where they're being affected from the foods we eat or decreasing hormones in the medicines we take as well. We also look at vitamin deficiencies. IV nutrition is now the new big thing because of the fact that we're not eating the foods that we should be eating, or that we're not getting the nutrients in the foods that we're eating. So we do a lot of IV nutrition, whether it's a push or an IV actually, or through supplementation. We do B12 shots, and yes, we do regenerative medicine. It's been an absolute blessing the last couple of years to see people regenerate their joints from their knees to their hips to their shoulders. So we're basically what we kind of say is a holistic hospital. We can help you from inside out and outside in as well.
And I keep hearing about glutathione. That seems to be everyone's go-to.
Yes.
Is IV glutathione. And you're going to say, what's glutathione? So I'm going to let Dr. Segal explain what it is and why this is now the hot, oh, everyone needs this.
Right. Glutathione is a very strong antioxidant. So it's very, very healthy for the body. And in fact, we have a lot of post-cancer patients that get the approval from their doctors to use glutathione to keep the immune system strong. We've had a lot of post-COVID patients use glutathione. And we mix it in something called a Myers cocktail, which is a high dosage of vitamin C, a B complex, and magnesium, and then water, and we add the glutathione to it. So if you feel like you're coming down with a cold or feeling sick, you may do an IV or a push with glutathione, but it's just great for the immune system.
And as people are going to that, even like hangover Myers cocktail, right? You're out drinking on Atlantic Avenue, you probably get a lot of that the next day.
We have, yes, and we don't promote it because of that. But it's really the water that's hydrating you back again, and the magnesium that actually gets rid of headaches. So people with migraines and headaches, in the Myers cocktail is magnesium, and that can typically get rid of headaches or migraines in about 30 to 45 minutes. So that's why it's been known as the cure for drinking too much the night before. We don't want to be known by that, but it's really more for overall health that we use it for. We also use it for anemic conditions, because iron doesn't bind to the red blood cell. So if you have high dosage of vitamin C, the iron can bind, and we can bring people back that are anemic and fatigued all the time just through a Myers cocktail once a week. They have their energy and their life restored. It's absolutely incredible to watch.
And you talked about diabetes. How can adjustment help with diabetes? Either, I guess, start with type 2.
Well, diabetes really comes more from diet and exercise than it would come from the adjustment. Now, if there is a bone hitting a nerve that goes to the pancreas, could that be affecting it? Absolutely. But diabetic issues really come down to more exercise and nutrition, which we help our patients tremendously within the practice.
And what about, you would ask neuropathy in your feet and your legs? Can you help with that?
We can. We get a lot of neuropathy patients. Neuropathy is basically because the nervous system is cut off, and then the blood, the bloodstream dies off around the nervous system, and that's why you feel heat issues, cold issues, or pain sensitivities. So we use a great neuropathy protocol, and it's a term called angiogenesis. Angiogenesis is increasing blood around the actual nerve, and the nerve can regenerate itself. And we do this all the time, actually. It's just a blessing for our patients that can't walk, that can't move, that are in pain all night. And we use a 3-step process. We give them nitric oxide. Nitric oxide increases oxygen within the body. It's a clean supplement that really has no side effects. We use a red light, an FDA-approved red light boot, and we can use it on the shoulder, the hand, the knee, or the feet, which is where typical most neuropathies come from. And the red light creates angiogenesis, more blood supply. And then we use a microcurrent. Microcurrent stimulates the nerve system. So if we can increase the blood flow around the nerve tissue will actually increase itself and come back to life. And we've seen miracles happening in our neuropathy patients.
And it doesn't die afterwards, after you stop the treatment? It doesn't go back to, or do you have to do the treatment for the rest of your life?
Right. Most of our patients will stay on a maintenance treatment. In fact, we give them equipment to take home that they keep for life. But once the nerve comes back, we also look at the spine, because if a bone hits the nerve in the lower back, it will actually cut off the nerve supply. So we not only look at the back or the neck where it may be coming from, we also look at the nerves that are being affected. Once we actually